What is going good, fellas, and welcome back to another video here on my YouTube channel. My name is Marvin for those of you who are new, and YouTube just recommended me a new channel. It's Baseball Doesn't Exist. I watched some videos of their channel and I say to you, this dude is making amazing videos, and today we have the video of the greatest athlete in the world. It's about Shohei Ohtani, and yeah, we are watching this and we may know why he is the greatest athlete in the world, and I would say we hop right into that video. Have fun.
As a rookie in Japan, Shohei Ohtani was described as a, quote, selfish player whose team was ruining his career. In 2021, he had what Sporting News called the greatest individual season in sports history. And in 2022, he's having an even better season.
Yeah, and I think that he is at the moment, he is in the MVP debate with Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge also has an all-time great performance in batting, but Shohei Ohtani, don't know how to pronounce it right. He's making both. He's pitching and batting really good on a high level, and let's see who wins the MVP race. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I think it's a double MVP this year. But yeah, let's see.
He can throw a 102-mile-per-hour fastball, hit a ball 119 miles per hour, and reached a sprint speed of 19.8 miles per hour. That's faster than Michael Vick. When coming to America, he voluntarily lost close to $200 million just to play Major League Baseball. In Japan, he...
What? Whoa! This is really good. I mean, I didn't even know that you can earn this much money in Japan playing baseball. 200 million. I mean, okay, he is an all-time great talent and not everybody is earning that money. But 200 million in Japan? Okay, that's not bad.
He gave his entire salary to his mother so she could manage it. She gave him an allowance of $1,000 a month. After 2 years, he saved $20,000, meaning he spent $4,000 in 2 years. His salary was $2.4 million.
But this just shows the work ethic that Shohei is doing, because I think that he's really concentrated in getting the best baseball player that he can be. And by spending less money, it's less trouble around it. You do less clubbing, you do other things less. You don't really care about the money stuff, and that you're like a celebrity, and this makes you more focused into the real sport.
A year.
And I love that. That's a great attitude, really.
Except baseball, and has a borderline psychotic obsession with becoming the best athlete in the world. And right now, not a single athlete in any sport even comes close. Just compare him to LeBron James, who, despite being one of the greatest and most versatile players in a sport that is way less specialized than baseball, has never finished a season top 10 in points, rebounds, and assists. This season, Ohtani is top 5 in the AL in 3 major offensive categories and also 3 major pitching categories. No other athlete in the world can compete because he is a starting pitcher and a designated hitter, making him one of only 2 MLB players in the past 100 years to do that. Since the 90s, there have been 6 MLB players who also played in the NFL. Meaning, if Ohtani was the league's best hitter, then played in the NFL during the offseason, that would actually be less impressive. Out of all the players who...
Yeah, okay, if you make it this argument that no other player has done it before, then yeah, it could be, but you have to see that there is also less chance to make it, because I believe to make the MLB as a starting pitcher and as a batter, or as a normal player, teams don't really like to do that, because injuries and stuff like that, they are hurting their own team. And if you are making something like Deion Sanders, you're playing in the NFL and you're also playing in the MLB, this is something different, in my opinion. But when you guys have a different opinion
Bo
here,
Jackson was the best, making an all-star team in baseball and leading the NFL in 3 offensive categories in the same year. But unlike Ohtani, he could only keep up this insane production for 1 year. And according to WAR, Ohtani's 2021 season was more valuable than all 8 of Bo Jackson's MLB seasons combined. There have been several two-way players within football. Lou Groza was one of the biggest offensive linemen in the league and was also the best kicker in the league. Jimmy Conzelman was not only the team's quarterback, he also played defensive back and was the head coach of the team. He also owned the franchise. However, unlike Ohtani, neither won league MVP and played over 50 years ago. In modern sports, this doesn't happen because it requires an insane workload and obsession to training that only Ohtani has, and these stories prove his obsession to baseball is borderline psychotic. As a rookie in Japan, Ohtani would pitch for the team's minor league team during the day, then that same day would be in the lineup and play right field for the major league team at night. By the time he left Japan at 23 years
Okay, this is really crazy, because if you're pitching, or maybe some of you guys have already done it, so I just tried it out a couple of times, not really often. My elbow and my arm is getting really, how to say it, lame. Yeah, there is no more strength and power there. This is really insane. He pitched and then also played in the majors in Japan.
He didn't even have a driver's license because according to him, it took too much time to get it and he only wanted to go to the field and back anyway. In fact, in his first professional season,
why not?
his team wouldn't even allow him to go out to dinner with his teammates. He was only allowed to go from the stadium to the hotel or to the team's dormitories where he lived during the season. And even after becoming the best and most famous athlete in Japan, he voluntarily stayed in the team's dormitories, which are usually reserved for young players.
And this is something that describes the work ethic of Shohei Ohtani even more. Because, yeah, you could think, okay, he's one of the biggest stars, he may live in a big house, big cars, girls, you know, all of that stuff that comes with the fame. But no. He is not there for the fame. He wants to be the best baseball player ever, or even the greatest athlete, as the video says. And this is the work ethic that you need. You need to surround yourself with nearly nothing, to be just concentrated on the sport itself.
Where players need to request and receive permission
really
anytime
good.
They want
I love it.
According to him, he literally trains while he sleeps, saying he, quote, gets ideas while he's sleeping, then tries them in the game the next day. Ohtani has the obsession and competitiveness of Kobe and Jordan, but his on-the-field antics are kind of the opposite. Ohtani is constantly apologizing and waving at
I love it.
He threw a ball close to Mark Hanna's head. He got pissed and screamed at Ohtani.
He's really polite.
Ohtani just laughed and apologized. During a brawl with the Mariners, him and his interpreter got in the pile and pulled a player out in the friendliest way possible. He's constantly seen picking up trash off the field because in high school he was taught this is good luck. Ohtani's personality really doesn't seem like an ultra-competitive athlete, but he is definitely built like one. In fact, his raw physical ability made some people call him the best player in the world before he even stepped foot in America, making him arguably a bigger prospect than LeBron James, who is known as being the best prospect in basketball history. But believe it or not, at one point, there was even a prospect in his class ranked higher than him. He ended up playing in the Phillies.
Okay, this is another great argument of saying that he is maybe the greatest athlete in the world, because yeah, he's more or less saying sorry, Ohtani was undoubtedly the best player available, and scouts and other talent reports we're not sure about that, about, for example, LeBron James in basketball. I know what he means, but yeah, in my opinion, this argument is more like that the scouts are seeing what others are seeing.
Philippines for the pure few.
But yeah, I see the point. I see the point.
Ohtani had no such competition. He set the Japanese record for fastest pitch thrown in high school, set the record for fastest pitch thrown in Japanese history, and hit a home run that literally went through the roof of the Tokyo Dome before he ever even set foot in America. MLB prospects are graded on a scale from 20 to 80. Getting an 80 means that you are a Hall of Fame level talent in that skill. It is only given to the top 0.2% of major leaguers. Ohtani Ohtani got an 80 in 3 different skills, meaning that he has Hall of Fame level talent in power, in speed, and for his splitter. It goes without saying that this has never happened in the history of baseball, where it's universally accepted that being a hitter and a pitcher at the same time is impossible. And
okay, this really makes the argument even stronger with the scouts, and that he is the best prospect ever to come into the majors.
If it wasn't for this extremely rare and lucky circumstance that likely will never happen again, Ohtani would have never even been allowed to attempt to do both. After high school, Ohtani publicly announced he would sign to a major league team, asking Japanese teams not to draft him. The Nippon Ham Fighters completely ignored this and drafted him anyway. To convince Ohtani to sign with them instead of going to America, making their pick worthless, they had to offer him something that no other team was willing to: the ability to void his contracts and allow him to go to America whenever he wanted, and let him become a two-way player, which literally no other team on earth was even considering. Ohtani became the first two-way player in Japan in over 60 years, when several players did it for a few years before they decided that doing both was too hard. Babe Ruth was an American icon for doing this for a year and a half before he also decided it was too hard. The only players in the 100-plus year history of baseball who did this for more than a few seasons were Bullet Joe Rogan and Martin DeHigo. These players were so legendary, they made the Hall of Fame despite never playing a game of Major League Baseball because of the color barrier. So obvious.
Yeah, okay, and this says, sorry Ohtani, you already are a Hall of Fame player. Because this argument just says it.
Nobody thought Ohtani could do it. He was called childish for taking up bats away from, quote, real players. Scouts in Japan thought that the Fighters were literally ruining his career by allowing him to do both, and the Fighters themselves likely wouldn't have even allowed him to do both if they didn't think it was the only way they could prevent him from signing in America. But within 3 years, he became the second best hitter in the league while simultaneously being the best pitcher in the league. He won league MVP and every other award in Japan.
Hey, this is a different sport. If you imagine batting and pitching, this is just different. You have to train so much to be the best, I mean really the best pitcher ever, or even in a season you don't have to be it ever, but in a season there are so many other dudes making this, and they are making it full time with their full concentration on it, and Shohei Ohtani is making the same stuff half time.
The most famous athlete in the country. In 2017, Ohtani submitted his request to go to MLB, which literally cost him hundreds of millions of dollars. To MLB in 2017, if Ohtani waited 2 more years, he would have been a free agent and would have signed a major league contract for around $200 million. But since he was still under contract in Japan, he was only legally allowed to sign for $3.5 million. Ohtani did not care. He signed to the Angels, making less money than he made for the Fighters and $190 million less than if he would have just waited 2 more seasons. Being the first two-way player.
Okay, this is really, it's also like goat, because, hey, who else would pass on 196.5 million to say, no, I don't want to play here. I want to play for 3.5 million. Give me that contract. I do it for less, and I show everybody that they are wrong.
In MLB was the only thing Ohtani cared about, which just based off the daily work schedule for a major leaguer literally seems impossible. MLB pitchers typically arrive 6 hours before the game starts to do pitching workouts. Position players also arrive 6 hours before the game starts to do position player workouts. Shohei Ohtani does both. In theory, that's 12 hours of work a day, plus 3 hours of games he plays every single night.
But guys, now you have to help me a little bit, because I see sometimes the schedule of MLB players, or at least plays, and sometimes they are playing 2 games in a day. Is that right, or is it just one night over, or what is he doing in these times? But still, this is so crazy. He makes 6, which makes it 12 plus game 3 to 4 more hours. which is literally baseball all day long.
That's 15 hours of baseball every day and doesn't even include the insane travel schedule professional baseball players go through. And this insane work schedule almost ended his career as a two-way player. Ohtani's first week in MLB was electric. He hit 3 home runs in his first 4 games. He took a perfect game into the 7th, and over his first 2 starts, held opposing batters to a .093 batting average. At one point, he was even the betting favorite to win MVP as a rookie. Then, he completely fell apart.
The scout said he probably should be at A-ball right now.
His next 3 starts were terrible, and then came injury.
Ohtani parted tonight's game due to a blister.
After injury.
Shohei Ohtani will undergo Tommy John surgery.
When Ohtani found out he was getting Tommy John, he was so depressed he didn't step outside his house once for an entire week.
What is the Tommy John? Is this like an injury for pitchers that the elbow is hurting or something like that? Because it really seems like it, but I've never heard it before, so maybe you guys can help me out. Write it down in the comment section. Would be really, really interesting.
Ohtani was still allowed to hit, putting up numbers strong enough to win Rookie of the Year, but this was used by many as proof he shouldn't focus on pitching at all.
It's time for the Angels to step in and make a decision for him. It's too hard to be the best hitter and pitcher at the highest level.
He played 2019 solely as a hitter to recover his elbow. He hit well, but experienced even more injuries.
You almost have to pick one or the other because both are so demanding.
Rehabbing from an elbow and knee injury while trying to train at 2 positions, plus a pandemic, made Ohtani's 2020 the worst season of his career. Then, another injury.
Tommy John surgery, check. Knee surgery, check. Now an arm strain, check. He's screwed.
Ohtani was getting 6 days rest between starts, resting the day before and after pitching, and was not put in a lineup in games when he pitched. But despite all of these safety measures, his body was breaking down, and in 2021, he knew it was his last chance to prove a two-way player was possible. The Angels went with the complete opposite approach. He would get essentially no rest, play every day.
Hey, what? Hey, you have to see the Angels, they really made a big risk here, but they saw the potential in Shohei Ohtani. That was maybe the biggest risk that they could do, yeah? Full workload, let's go, Ohtani,
during
all
the same
in,
game,
you make it.
Giving him a workload never seen in baseball history. And this caused the best season ever seen. He became the first player ever to be selected to the All-Star team twice in the same season, once as a pitcher and once as a hitter. He was selected to compete in the Home Run Derby, had his interpreter catch for it, and donated the $150,000 he won to the Angels clubhouse workers. An All-Star jersey signed by Ohtani
story. I
sold
love
for
it.
over 130
He's
grand,
really polite.
and it wasn't even game worn. In Japan, every single Angels game was nationally broadcasted, including an alternate broadcast that filmed him the entire game, no matter where he was. He won the Silver Slugger Award, the Best DH Award, AP Male Athlete of the Year, ESPY's Male Athlete of the Year, was listed as one of the top 100 most influential people in the world by Time Magazine, and was unanimous MVP. He was even chosen by the Japanese government to get the People's Honor Award of Japan. However, Ohtani turned it down, saying, quote, "It's too early for me to get the award." Ohtani—
What is going on? Hey, what? What? This is crazy. I have no words for this. He is so polite, and hey, he gets honored everywhere, and he says, no, it's too early for me. I need to earn it. I want to do more. I want to be better. Don't give me that award. Give me it, I don't know, 5-6 years from now.
Ohtani's 2021 was ranked as the single greatest season by any athlete in sports history. In 2022, he's already accumulated more WAR than he had in 2021. In an 8-game stretch in June, Ohtani made 2 starts, didn't give up a single run, and struck out an insane 49% of the batters he faced. During this stretch, he also hit 4 home runs, and had 12 RBIs. He accumulated 1.8 WAR. That's more WAR than the entire Detroit Tigers offense has all season.
What?
Ohtani did it in 8 days. Since 2021, Ohtani has offensive numbers on par with Willie Mays' career numbers, while putting up pitching stats on par with Pedro Martinez's career numbers. He is literally 2 Hall of Fame players in one, making him the greatest athlete on earth.
Wow, that was a lot of input. And is Shohei Ohtani now the greatest athlete in the world? What's my opinion on that? Well, he has maybe the greatest single season, but yeah, this is the title that he already has. Also, his work ethic is crazy. I don't know how much work, for example, NBA players put in, because I think that they are also training for like 3-4 times a day. If you imagine of Kobe Bryant, he maybe trained like 18 hours a day in the off season. I don't know, but yeah, is Shohei Ohtani now the greatest athlete in the world? I don't know. For me, he has a case. He has a case, but if it's enough to be the greatest of all greats, I don't know. Let me write it down in the comment section what you guys think about it. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button if you want to see more, and of course, if you have any suggestions for video reactions, also write it down in the comment section. And that was it for today. See you. Goodbye.